saying toxic masculinity because you're crying. You're not embracing your masculine nature. You think that being a man is toxic.
No, I don't. You're wrong. When I talk about toxic masculinity, I'm talking about social expectations that are placed on men that are toxic to the man. The solutions that you're offering are detrimental to men. And not only that, they're detrimental.
You're going to talk about what's better for men if you're, I mean, no offense, you're on antidepressants. How are you going to talk about what's better for your mental health if you're not, if you are literally popping a pill every day saying, I'm not happy?
What these studies demonstrate that telling men to suppress emotion does nothing but contribute to higher rates of, not to mention, this type of idea also negatively impacts men within relationships. There's been plenty of studies on this, for example.
Oh, Hunter, your way's not working.
Wait.
Your method's not working.
What do you...
The way, your view of men's mental health and everything is not working, and you're admitting it every day by taking an antidepressant.
It says, quote, research on gender roles suggests that men who strongly adhere to traditional masculine gender norms are at increased risk for the perpetuation of violent and abusive acts towards their female intimate partners. And
Talk
even
to me,
more
man.
so,
Stop reading these studies, bro. This is just
no. I know that you don't want me to read all of the
studies.
information that completely obliterates all the dumb shit you say. But let me finish at least, okay? It says, in the present study, we assess the effect of masculine discrepancy stress, a form of distress arising from perceived
It's not
failure.
having a debate or a conversation.
Stop,
you reading
stop.
these articles is not a conversation.
It's not an article, it's a study, and I would like to just read the little blurb here, okay? In the present study, they assessed the effect of masculine discrepancy
If
stress.
you're depressed, you should not be educating people on happiness.
A form of distress arising from perceived failure to conform to socially prescribed masculine gender role norms. Results indicate that masculine discrepancy stress significantly predicted
you can look at me and
men's-
talk to me, man. Nobody in the chat's listening to this. Like this,
That's
you're just
not true.
reciting dot points.
But I'm trying to just demonstrate that the type of masculinity that you are consistently advocating for hurts men and hurts their future relationships.
Okay. Do you know who's not on antidepressants? Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, me. The red pill people live happy lives. You don't take pills.
That's great, dude. That's super cool.
Well, the idea
talking about snorting pills, and I'll get back
people-
to reading this. It says results indicated that masculine discrepancy stress
this is a waste of-
significantly
Bro,
predicted.
I'm not listening to you talk.
It's one more sentence. Calm down, please. Results indicated that masculine discrepancy stress significantly predicted men's historical perpetuation of intimate partner violence, independent of other masculinity-related variables. So the type of masculinity.
Now?
No, we're not moving on yet. The type
you
of
said the same
masculinity.
point 6 times in a row.
Because I don't know how else to get them through your thick skull.
By arguing and talking to me and listening to what I'm saying right now.
This is a real complex issue. You have people who are clinically depressed and people who feel like they have mental issues that medication help. But I want to talk about personal experience. The time where I really felt that my life was over and felt depressed was the times that I felt like I couldn't change my situation. But the time I changed that situation is when things got better. Now, you could say society is putting these expectations on men, but the world will check you as a man by itself. Let me give you an example. There was a time I was in a hole and my life was collapsing. And if I couldn't get up every single day to work, to rebuild my life, to reach out to my network, to build my network up, to pay rent, to buy a car, I'm screwed and ain't nobody gonna care. And that's the reality as a man, right? To where like, if you stop performing, you know, that girl won't care about you. No, like your friends won't care about you. And I've seen it. I'm generalizing for the most part, but I see what Sneako is saying. A lot of stuff get misconstrued. But at the end of the day, let me give an example. The times where I felt sick, the times I felt like I couldn't perform as well, that's when people around you start getting frustrated. Like, hold on, bro, you promised this or you were providing this. Now you're not feeling good and you're not keeping up with that thing that we're used to getting from you. Whether it's like, if I'm the person that go in and run the meetings all the time, if I get sick, you get replaced easy. And I'm speaking specifically towards men. I'm not a woman, so I can't speak for a woman. I have my thoughts, but we talking about depression when it comes to men. Now, there are people who are clinically depressed, but I think it needs to be more of that complex conversation where like, okay, for somebody like me, I wouldn't say I'm clinically depressed, but I have been depressed to a point where I have had thoughts where I'm like, is this the end of my life, right? And that's me being real. But I had to look and say, what's the problem? Okay, I'm running out of money, right? That's an example. How do I get money to make sure I take care of what I have to take care of so I don't feel like I'm sinking in this hole? Because if any man collapse under that pressure and lose his job, lose his car. And it all happens one by one as a man, right? Let's say you got a car, you got an apartment, you got a nice job. When you get fired and you don't got that safety net, which like 60% of Americans can't afford a $500 tragedy or an accident, you lose your job and then you lose your car if you got to make payments. Your girlfriend's stressed out, you know what I mean? And you lose her, you lose your place. And that's what really causes depression for the most part, right? I'm not talking about the clinically depressed people. So I see what Sneako is saying. Shout out to Sneako. He a part of the squad, you feel me? Like, he cool with some of my people. Shout out to Rolo. But like, I feel what he's saying. And I feel like they both are trying to make their claim, but they're not talking about there are people who do feel. But I feel like for a lot of men out here, they feel depressed because they don't feel like they're attractive. They feel like, okay, I'm overweight. I haven't, I don't get the attraction or the attention that I want from the girls that I like. I'm not making the money I want to make. And the solution to that is hitting the gym, number one, so you can feel confident. Wearing clothes that make you look good. When you do that, you get respected in the workplace. People put you in a leadership position. You make more money. You attract that girl that you want, which you can have a better car, a better place to live in. And I'm only saying this from being from both sides. It took me it took me like 15 years to get in the position that I'm in to have everything I want, even though I'm not at the place I want to be. But I wake up every day, and when something get me to a point where I'm like, dang, I ain't feeling this. I can't say I don't ever get depressed, but I haven't really felt depression in like a year or two because I provided solutions to everything that was making me feel depressed, right? And I can't say that for everybody. I'm saying for myself. And I've had countless guys that'll be like, I'm depressed because I'm dealing with relationship issues. Well, what's that issue? Okay, y'all arguing about money? Go ahead and do X, Y, Z. Get better with your money. Go get in shape. Go chase your purpose. Go get you some hobbies and stop laying around and complaining because then your girl starts seeing you as weak. So get out and grind. Get out and chase your purpose and everything will change. So when we talk about depression with men and societal expectations, dog, society will slap you in the face and not care about you when you down and out. I watched a movie called Southpaw, and that movie describes every man battle in this world. He lost his wife, and after he lost his wife, he started mentally struggling with stuff. And then his accountant, his lawyers, his manager, they like, yo, we need that money. You depressed about your wife, but I got bills to pay. What about me and my family? That's how it is. Me, I'm responsible for a lot of people as an artist, as running companies, contracts of companies. I done had real life tragedy strike. And when you feeling that tragedy, it's like when you're responsible for helping other people pay their bills, or even if you're not cutting other people's bills, you somebody who's working in that company to help whoever company you working for pay their bills. And they got families too. So it's like, I know you done lost your wife in Southpaw, but I got to pay my bills too. I got to do this. So you watch this guy whole life collapse and you can build it back up and it makes you stronger. But that's the real stuff that leads to depression. You know how many men quit life 2022 because of divorce, because of losing stuff? That's a real thing where like men are feeling helpless. And I get it. Yeah, you saying like, oh, when you suppress your emotions, blah, 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 you start raging, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, society will check you and put that pressure on you regardless of other men are putting that pressure on you or not. When we evolved as men, we all went to war. We fought wars. You know what I mean? And now we living in a comfortable society where we all bored and playing video games and, partying and getting drunk for our spare time. It's like, no, you got to balance that. You got to go out and you got to train your body. You got to be disciplined. You got to be tough. So when life smack you, you look at it as a minor thing. And that's how I felt like I dealt with the depression that I was going through.